Okay, welcome back to Unifrog. Obviously, you've familiarised yourself with the profile page. Let's get in and start interacting with the program. The first thing I want you to look at is the interests profile. So find that area and hit start. And you'll notice on my screen that I've actually completed it already. That's not a problem. I'll come back to this in a second. But when you first log in, it will basically look like this. And it will go through a series of about 40 or so questions, all based on John Holland's theory of personalities and job choices. So after you've completed your application of the 42 questions, as I say, very quick dislike or like style questions. Just click on a few myself, and so on. You can see from the progress bar there at the top how much progress you're making. But once you've completed that, you will then be taken back to a page. And I'm going to go back in to my own interest page. You will go into an interest page like this. So this is my interest profile, and you'll notice that I basically liked everything. Every single question, just for quickness, but in actual fact it's made my choices very limited because it cannot decipher what I'm particularly good at, because I've said I'm good at everything, or I like everything. So when you do yours, you'll get a much more interesting profile from these categories there. You'll see what sort of things you're interested in, being artistic or social or being enterprising and so on. And I'm just going to scoot past the next bit and come back to it. But you'll see the categories in order. Okay, so yours will be in order of the ones you liked the most. You can learn a little bit more about the quiz if you want. But firstly, what I want you to do is push to locker. So when you press push to locker, it will essentially create the interest profile. And I want you to basically, I'll just go down here a little bit, upload as a new item. Okay, so it'll look like this. The previous page popped up for me because I'd already done this, but that won't pop up for you. In the item title, I want you to type in interests and then the dates that you are completing this task. So for me, I completed it on April the 11th. Okay, 2022. And I'll upload that item. Okay, and there it is. It's in my locker now. Once it's in my locker, I can go back to it. So I'm going to come back out of this area, go to home, back to the interest profile down here. And yours will look like this, obviously, without the full 28 likes. Now I want you to go to this bit. This is the best bit. Search the careers library or search the subjects library. If we hit search the careers library, you will see all the matches to your interests profile. So these are the jobs that are most suited to someone with your interests. I want you to spend a while looking through these, and you can see there are absolutely loads of them. But the more suited they are, the higher up this list they will appear. So if I go to railway engineer, I can read all about what a railway engineer entails. Working hours, the stuff about skills that I'm required. Entry requirements is also always very interesting there, how to actually get into the job. There's little bits I can click on, more that I can explore, some other university subjects that might relate to this career, or other relevant career profiles related to being a railway engineer. I can explore various other bits and pieces at university. Really interesting labour market information. So here it's telling me how many jobs are currently in this area. In Bromley, how many jobs are sort of not available, but how many jobs are actually being used as, how many people are employed as railway engineers in Bromley. And then some interesting things about median salary, prospects, what's it look like? It looks like it's a growing area from what I can tell here on the labour market statistics, and so on. Most importantly, if I like this, I must save it to favorites. And I can either do that by clicking here at the bottom or on the heart up here. Either way, it will then send it to favorites, and that builds up my careers library. You can see I've added 5 5 favourites. If I go back, it takes me back to the list of jobs that were careers that were a match to my interests. I'm going to go back again, and this time on my interests, I'm going to look at subjects. And you can see here I can look at various subjects that match my interests as well. So I might think, you know what, I like the sound of veterinary medicine. I can read the profile. And it's similar to a careers page. Obviously, this is a subject page, but I can listen to what Beth has to say about studying veterinary medicine, which is going to be really interesting. And there's loads and loads that I can read in here. So some interesting things might be, how do I get into this sort of area? What qualifications and grades do I need? And that, of course, is very useful for you when you're thinking about Year 9 options or Year 12 sixth form choices. There's loads there I can uncover. Just going to shrink that here. I've got a little bit of information in a nutshell, which is always quite interesting to have a read. What are the most popular school subjects that relate to veterinary medicine? Obviously, biology and chemistry pretty high up, as you probably expect. I've got some statistics there on salaries as well. 15 months after graduating, I can expect possibly an average of £25,000 salary. And then if I really want to explore this, I'm really interested in being a veterinary scientist or someone involved in veterinary medicine, then I can geek out. And in this area, there's loads more that I can read about that are just really interesting bits and pieces. Quite often have links to various talks and so on. In fact, there's some recommendations here, things you might want to read, things you might want to watch, and things you might want to listen to that are related to veterinary medicine. So it's really, really interesting. You can get stuck into that. And again, if you like something, remember to save it to favorites. All right, and then you don't have to spend forever searching for it again. So let's say I've finished looking at my subjects and I've finished looking at my careers. Once again, I can now find them whenever I like in my careers library. If you might remember, I had 5 subjects in my careers library, and they should be around about here. So there's 3 there, and then GP and lighting technician are other ones that I've liked as well. So there's 5 in my careers library. I can refer to those whenever I like. And of course, if I go back once more in my subject library, I think I'd only liked 1 subject, and that's correct, veterinary medicine. So this is where those subjects and careers are stored. Okay, that's it for the interests profile.